This is our leftover chicken breast from the chicken we roasted for lunch today, along with all the extra meat, like from all the bones. Like I just picked it off the whole carcass and I put the bones in the crock pot. These are the bones from today's chicken. This is another chicken bone carcass from my freezer. And then I've got 2 chopped up onions in there in the crock pot at low. I'm going to fill it with water up to here and just leave it here all day long and then strain it at the end, and that's how I make my bone broth. When I roast the chicken in the crock pot, I save all of the juices and then do the same exact thing. Put the bones back in there with the juices, some onions. You can do carrots and celery too. I just do onions and then fill it up with water with all the leftover juices, and that's the only difference. But I roasted this one in the oven, that's why I don't have all that reserve juice. So now this is ready to go. It's on low, and I'll come back and strain it tonight, probably around after bedtime, and either freeze it or save it because I might make soup tomorrow, so I'll use it tomorrow. I ended up leaving it overnight instead of just the whole day because I think that it just didn't get gelatinous enough just for the full day. So I wanted to leave it longer, and you see how it forms this little jelly-ish kind of stuff on top? That is the bone broth. That's what you want. And at this point, after leaving it all night like that, these bones are like completely falling apart, you know. I will put those bones aside and then pick through the remaining meat and give it to my dogs. And then I'll strain the whole thing, and I'm probably going to use a significant amount of this tonight. I'm thinking of making chicken tortilla soup, which I've never made before, but it's so easy to use avocado instead of sour cream. And I have organic corn chips, and I have some organic raw cheese that I can put on top. And I'm going to make it with white beans. I know that's different, but I asked my husband, I was like, you want red, black, or white? And he chose white. So I'm going to do the same recipe, but with white beans, just because we never really have white beans. Even though we have them here, we just never eat them. So I'm going to strain this and let you see how beautifully thick and brown it looks. They totally know the drill. They're waiting patiently for their stuff. So because I removed all of this stuff already with the slotted spoon, after I strained the bone broth, this is the only thing that was left in the strainer, and this is all bone broth. It's really hot, and you can already tell as it cools off, you can see like a little film on top. That's the gelatinous stuff that I'm talking about. I'm gonna put this in the fridge and let it cool off, and once it's cooled off, I'll put it probably I'll put some aside to use in my soup tonight, and then the rest I'll bag in freezer safe gallon Ziploc bags and put it in the freezer. Don't leave it out on the counter cooling off, because when something's hot and you just leave it cooling, bacteria grows, and then it can become a risk for food poisoning. And even if you don't get food poisoning, you're like eating bacteria. So you always want to put stuff in the fridge to cool off, or leave it on the heat. So yeah, that's how I make my bone broth. I hope you try it and love it. And this is great for soups, of course, but also we'll take this and make quinoa with it and rice with it. And sometimes I'll put it in our fried rice. And I just had it in my mind. Good grief. Anyway, you will come up with great ways to use this, to incorporate it into your food. So enjoy and have a great day.